Welcome back to my favorite series here on YouTube, Blinded and Breakdown. Our first one is about TIMOTHÉE Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. It reads, the meme actor loves his hookups private jet and keeps her around because of it. Now we've gone back and forth. Are they a PR relationship or is Timmy really into Kylie Jenner? In my opinion, this situation is still up for debate, but it does seem interesting to get this tidbit because it is like a clue that maybe he would want to stay with her for a private jet. One person writes that private planes should be illegal except for medical and high government officials, and the Kardashians don't need to be flying so much. One person writes, oh, that explains a lot. Another comment reads, I've heard worse reasons to keep the relationship going. And at this point, I do think that Timmy is using Kylie, at least for her jet to go and get some work done. I've never been on a private jet. I probably won't ever be on a private jet in my lifetime. It's also not something I'm like super excited to go do. Like, I'm already kind of scared of flying. Comment below, are you guys scared of flying? Because I'm getting old, but I'm still scared. I just don't think I'll grow out of my fear of flying. But Kylie Jenner clearly isn't scared because she's flown her jet 11 times since the first of the year. Her luxury $70 million aircraft has flown 11 times, with 3 flights happening in one day on January 16th. Now, what is happening on January 16th where she is flying 3 different times? I would be worried for the plane. Like, can the plane handle going up and down that much? But I guess for $70 million, it better.
She took a 15-minute flight between LA and Camarillo, and 4 of her 11 flights so far this year have been under an hour long, which has enraged people online. The flights have cost 162 tons of carbon emissions, which could power 33 homes for a year. People have called her a climate criminal and said that she is being very insensitive to the situation in LA and the surrounding areas. They think that she is completely disregarding the people who are suffering from the wildfires and say that she just doesn't care that her flights are contributing to the climate change that caused the fires in the first place. Others have said that she earned her money fair and square and deserves to spend it how she likes. They say that she has to fly private because the public would harass her if she took commercial flights. They think that her private jet use has no effect on climate change and instead blame the general public for not doing enough to reduce their carbon footprint.
The jet has also flown 8 times since the wildfires broke out on January 7th. Its shortest trip was on January 9th when it was in the air for 15 minutes between Los Angeles and Camarillo, which is like actually not that far of a drive. I think it's like about an hour drive, which is why it's like 15 minutes, I'm sure. 3 days later, Kylie took off for a slightly longer flight, 36 minutes to Palm Springs. That's the thing about these celebrity flight logs, you really cannot get away with it. And damn, I mean, if you do look at the environmental impact, it really comes down to like these kind of situations, because probably like a week of Kylie Jenner flying would be like my entire life of driving a car.
Kylie Jenner has officially set the world record for shortest flight in a private jet. She took off at Newark International Airport, which is located in New York City, and this flight is only 7 miles long, which is a walkable distance. And I got a lot of hate on my last video. People were saying 7 miles is not a walkable distance. I truly believe, unless you are disabled, that everybody can walk 7 miles. And before I get a lot of hate on this video, I made sure to prove myself right. It was so easy to do.
Now, I don't know about his little experiment over there because I am always huffing and puffing. You should see me at the berries classes. Like, I'm keeping up, but I'm... Those wildfires really got to my lungs. Kylie has been able to leverage her cosmetics company and provide some to people who have suffered from the fires, but it's not going to change her flying anytime soon. So, yeah, don't get your hopes up.
Oopsie. Okay, you want to walk? Pajama girl.
You know what's wild? You could be walking down the street or headed to the grocery store and then bam, you're in an accident. Suddenly you're dealing with injuries, bills, and an insurance company that's doing everything in its power to give you the bare minimum. It's gotta feel so frustrating. Insurance companies always seem to pull the same tricks, offering you the lowest settlement possible. But here's where Morgan & Morgan steps in and changes the game. Morgan & Morgan isn't just another law firm. They are America's largest injury law firm, with 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state ready to fight for you. You don't have to deal with those insurance companies alone anymore because they've got your back. Take this for example. This year, they got a client in Florida $12 million, way more than what the insurance company was offering. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle. They will continue to fight until you get what you deserve. And here's the kicker. The whole process is as easy as ordering takeout. You can submit everything from your phone. No need for paperwork marathons or endless appointments. And with Morgan & Morgan, you only pay if you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody
buddy, don't just sit there. You could head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you could check out the link in my description below. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan is the team that fights for you because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy.
Now, this is juicy. This is about Blake Lively and Taylor Swift, and I'm kind of loving Taylor Swift for this. This A-list actress wanted to attend a big game with her very popular friend this past weekend. The friend said no. A crack in the friendship, or because it would have been a distraction? Again, about Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. Blake Lively, you have been in some hot water. Hotter than a hot tub, and Taylor Swift does not want to get in. This person commented that Taylor's distancing herself because she's professional and doesn't need to be dragged into Blake's drama. I mean, that's probably a good position because she was listed in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. Another person writes, you know Taylor Swift is pissed that she's being dragged into this and will probably be pissed at Blake for putting her in a situation with Justin at all. Another person added that Taylor put the pressure on Justin Baldoni at Ryan and Blake's penthouse regarding the rooftop scene. If she didn't want to be involved, she should have refused to be a dragon. Another person writes that Taylor Swift has problematic friends. This person replied, birds of a feather, they flock together. Another person adds that Taylor will have to testify at trial. I can't wait for that. Isabel wrote, I just don't understand how somehow Blake managed to leverage Taylor in order to pressure Justin Baldoni. Is it full-on manipulation and premeditated plan, or did she trick Taylor into playing along? That's a good point. Like, did Blake manipulate Taylor into kind of positioning her to go and say those things to Justin? Or did she tell her friend before, hey, can you do me this favor, and try to pressure Justin to go with my edit? Either way, it's very, very sneaky, and Taylor Swift doesn't like any stain to her reputation. She scares me, and it looks like she was left perplexed by Justin's claim that Blake enlisted her to pressure him. A source reveals that Taylor is now confused at being dragged into the lawsuit, as her connection to Blake is one of a friendship. Taylor is proud of the film because her music was featured in it, which gave her a sense of involvement, though she wasn't fully aware of the extent of the project's developments. She's confused by the claims in the suit, as her connection to Blake is purely friendship with no interest in influencing or controlling Blake's projects. That's a very safe answer from the Swift camp. The source insisted that Taylor did not purposely plan to be there during the meeting. Instead, she was simply coming over to hang out with her friend, but arrived while the meeting was happening. She finds Justin's interpretation of the encounter perplexing, and those close to her suspect that she's being drawn into the situation as a means to target Blake. Quote, this was the first time that Taylor ever even met Justin. She had no idea who he was, and Taylor was trying to be polite. She was polite to him as she is to everyone she meets, they say.
Could we consider this a breakup? Taylor Swift does not want to be a Khaleesi dragon. She is saying she is not one of Blake Lively's dragons. Do you think she consulted her before she said this? She said, as a matter of fact, she has nothing to do with this lawsuit. So please kindly remove her name out of the lawsuit. She said she was over casually visiting her friend during this Justin Baldoni ambush, and that she seriously has nothing to do with it. She knows nothing about this whole drama. Really? Isn't her song the anthem of this movie? Okay. Who believes this wasn't a setup? Is Taylor doing damage control? Was she like, fine, B, you can use my name, but then I'm gonna have to release a statement? Or do you really think she was clueless?
Now, in my opinion, I don't think Taylor Swift is ever clueless. I think she's probably a calculated person, and not in a bad way. You know, she's got herself in order, but Blake may be even more calculated than Taylor is and actually kind of set her up here. Justin Lawyer claims that Blake asked if she could take a pass at writing the part of the flick that showed their two characters meeting on a rooftop near the beginning of the film. Justin agreed to take a look at her version of the scene, but was hesitant to use it because it dramatically differed from what he had written. He thanked Blake for her passion and told her that the scene would end up going somewhere between the original version and Blake's version. Blake then allegedly invited Justin over to her house to discuss the rewrite, and that's when Taylor Swift stepped in. As the meeting was closing, the famously close friend of Ryan and Blake walked into the room and began praising Blake's script. Justin understood the subtext. He needed to comply with Blake's direction for the script, especially because if they can get Taylor Swift to promote it, that would make it the biggest movie ever, you know?
So this question is for the Swifties who are team Justin Baldoni. I like some of Taylor Swift's music, but in the same breath, I've clocked her bullshit. I've been clocked her bullshit for years. She is a certified mean girl. She's just very covert about it compared to Blake Lively, who's overt. She will stonewall a person's career. I've been clocked that she weaponizes feminism. Knowing that Blake Lively tore a page out of the Taylor Swift handbook in regards to how she isolated Justin Baldoni using the rest of the cast, how does that make you feel?
Blake also sent Ryan a message saying that Ryan and Taylor Swift are my most trusted partners and the people I go to first with anything creative I touch. And it almost seems like she is trying to flex that she has these two powerful people in her wheelhouse, that she's somehow superior to his judgment. And of course, Justin felt the pressure. He was facing two of the most influential and wealthy celebrities in the world who were not afraid to make things very difficult for him. So good luck to you, Justin Baldoni. Now let's get into Justin Bieber. We just covered him recently on the main channel. Also, I do want to briefly talk about the blind item breakdown hat. You guys can go to my website, sloanhooks.com, to get your blind item breakdown hat. It's going to be the hat I'm going to wear in all my videos. I love it. So cute. Like, it's got a little strappy strap in case you got a big head like I do. So it has been great. It is only going to be online until, I believe, January 30th or is there a 31st? Till the end of the month. And then I'm going to take it down. And that's going to be pretty much it. I do have new merch coming out for the Let's Get Into It podcast, like in mid-February. But yeah, if you want to get this hat, I'm not selling merch for long periods of time. It's just going to be for a couple weeks. So I hope you guys do support me. This blind item reads, the north of the border singer is certainly not acting like he's married. This is the most open he has been about it in a very long time. Now, we just covered the fiasco where Justin says he was hacked. And imagine if a hacker got into Justin Bieber's account, what would they do? There's so many things they could do, right? Well, they decided out of all the things to do to go and unfollow Hailey Bieber. I'm not buying it. I would believe more if he accidentally hit unfollow for his wife, but no hacker is just breaking into an account with hundreds of millions of followers to go and unfollow Hailey Bieber. There's clearly trouble in paradise. One person commented that Justin has a pretty detailed post today about his pot use, which I'm not feeling, especially because he has a baby. It's not a flex. One person commented, weren't they on vacation a few days ago? I feel like he's going through something, but she keeps bothering him. Another person writes, he needs to go and get help. He has been struggling in private for so long, but now he wants to open up about it. I don't know. I feel like the stuff with Diddy and the other people that did things to him are affecting him a lot in adulthood. My heart does go out for Justin Bieber because I feel like he's been crying for help ever since he was like 10 years old at this point. And you know, recently he was spotted. Well, he wasn't spotted. He posted photos of himself smoking some pot, which is legal in Colorado, also in California. And it's not something we're necessarily against on this channel. I mean, I think like marijuana seems to be, do we even call it marijuana? Weed tends to be well studied, so you know, not a problem. The problem comes in if like someone's driving and doing it and with a kid, like those kind of things, you know, but he's not doing any of that. The photos, which have a heavy orange cast that adds a sense of drama, were posted on Instagram of him lighting a bowl before putting it to his mouth and taking a hit. Wait, what? This is creepy. Why is it giving me like Wicked, like Elphaba? Like, I know it's not, but like, wait, what an interesting post. Why did I think it was just gonna be like a chill picture? It's like, no, he's got like a huge device and just ripping it. One person commented, Jesus, freed you from this, bro. Why are you going back to it? Another person writes, this is not cool. Another person adds, he hasn't been sober since his marriage. What an influence she is. Another person writes, dear Meta, why is it okay if Justin Bieber does it, but I'll get flagged? Another person adds, you have a baby now and this is what you choose to post? I'll be praying for you. Now, there's of course a lot of judgment here, and even fellow celebrities are judging him. Now, he presented these pictures without comment, but a few hours later, he shared a powerful post for Martin Luther King. Shout out to Martin Luther King. He captioned it with a quote, hate can't drive out hate, only love can do that. Justin has been posting quite a bit on social media, including posts about him in his underwear and, you know, jumping into the water while he's cold. He's got his little shriveled weenie teeny there. We're not going to post it here because, you know, YouTube has rules. Why does it? This angle is so weird. The way that his body's twisted into the side, it looks like he's got like such a little skinny, like, you know what I'm talking about, like the underwear part. Something about that. Comment below. The angle is weird, right?
best friend Kris Jenner works hard, but Hailey Bieber works harder, honey. Listen, Justin Bieber just posted a set of pictures of him and Hailey Bieber together in Aspen to shut down the rumors that there's any issues or any divorce talk. He posted a bunch of pictures in Aspen, girl, and listen, this is coming after all of the drama of him allegedly unfollowing Hailey Bieber, but then it turns out that somebody snuck into his account and then unfollowed Hailey Bieber, but now some people are saying that it was Hailey Bieber trying to get attention and steal attention away from Selena Gomez, and then some other people are saying that this is just a marketing ploy to get Justin Bieber hyped and get the fans hyped again for his upcoming musical project. But best friend, all I think about this is that this is a damn mess. This is getting very much Gypsy Rose, Honey Boo Boo. This is getting very much, Kim, stop taking pictures of yourself. Your sister's going to jail. And we do get a little sneak peek at Jack Blue's Bieber.
Another Taylor Swift item, shoot. In addition to the new album, the Year singer plans to talk specifics about the A-list singer when he's doing press for the album, which is about Matty Healy, who's part of the 1975 and once dated Taylor Swift before Travis Kelce. This comment reads, looks like they were friends for a while before they dated for a weekend. He's going to say what Tree authorizes him to release. It's all performative. One person wrote, hell yeah, Matty, let's hear it. Another person said, bro, you don't recover from the Taylor PR Blitz takedown. Because you guys may remember that Taylor really gave Matty a hard time and wrote like an album that was partially about him. But this person replied, I think Taylor has overplayed her hand. The public is exhausted with her. She lacks critical self-awareness in her mid-30s, still behaving like she's 14. Okay, now let's chill with some of the Taylor Swift slander. I know we've got some Swifties out there. This person commented, if he does, I'm sure her lawyers are better than this. Now we will have to see what Matty has to say about Taylor Swift. Remember, he said that Ice Spice looks like an overweight Chinese woman, I believe was his phrasing. Now he claims that his title track for his band's album, God Has Entered My Body, centers on his and Swift's relationship and coping with fame. Very interesting title. A source says everyone at the studio thought this was about Matty's fling with Taylor and their fleeting romance. I mean, if she's allowed to write about him, he can write about her. Matty will never publicly comment on his relationships, but his deepest feelings are let out in his songs, and he gets everything off his chest. So fans will want to listen to the lyrics very carefully, which this is probably a way for the 1975 to try to get a hit song because they need people to pay attention to it. The lyrics include a line, keep your head up, princess, your tiara is falling. A Reddit user put a little article out saying this can't be real. It is so ridiculous to see like just kind of how some of these relationships play out in the media.
I mean, they're set to headline Glastonbury and they are releasing the album this summer, so we're gonna get a single, coming up soon. And I feel like it's inevitable now that people are going to draw that link, and I think it would have happened anyway, whether or not this article from The Sun was published. The thing I find funniest about this entire thing is Matty Healy actually commenting on these rumors on Reddit, poking fun at it or saying that like this is actually true. I don't know.
Now, to give you some context, Taylor and Matty first linked up in 2014. This was before her relationship with Joe Alwyn, who she dated for years and years. And even though her relationship with Matty was short-lived, they were quite dramatic. When Matty was asked about Taylor's album, The Tortured Poets Department, he said, I haven't really listened to much of it, but he said, I'm sure it's good. I mean, it is Taylor Swift.
Now, of course, this would kind of be Matty responding to The Tortured Poets Department, which many people speculate, Taylor never confirms. A lot of the songs are potentially about Matty. And Matty was asked about this in an interview, and he had this very controversial response. He said he has no interest in making albums about, quote, casual romantic liaisons. Clearly a shot at Taylor there. I think this is all trying to like drum up publicity for his upcoming album from the 1975. I don't know.
Let's talk about Jessica Simpson. She has one of the most dysfunctional families out here, and it's all thanks to her father, Joe Simpson. One person who is not happy with the thirsting of the former A-list singer, sometimes actress turned business person, is the dad. He has a whole lot of secrets. One person commented, much prefer him being gay over how he would comment on how well endowed Jessica is. Another person writes, alleged creepy behavior for a long time of him pretending to be a fashion photographer and possibly harassing young male models he uses. We've actually talked about Joe Simpson's secrets before on the channel and exposed him big time, but we don't give her mother Tina enough love. And recently Jessica posted a picture with her mom. Now a lot of people were confused at who this was because it didn't look like Tina. It was her 66th birthday, and it looks like she has decided to go under the knife and get some work done. mean, good for you, Tina, but the reaction on social media isn't great. And if you look at this side by side, you can see that, she actually doesn't really look that happy, unfortunately. One person asked, is your mom in the room with us? Who is this? Another person confessed they actually thought Tina was Ashley Simpson. Now in 2012, Tina filed for divorce from Joe, thank God, and cited the reasoning for the split as discord or conflict of personalities. In her memoir, Open Book, that was published in 2020, Jessica reflected on her parents separating, saying she was blindsided by the news. I took care of my mother in many ways. She had lost her best friend. Kind of sounds like, I mean, no shade, but kind of sounds like a Caitlyn Jenner, Kris Jenner situation. Like almost like she didn't know who he was this entire time, and just like that person had completely been gone, like she had lost him. Jessica Simpson is going through her own split with her now ex-husband, Eric. They've been living separately and trying to figure out how to raise their children.
Even weddings that look like a Hallmark movie don't guarantee a happily ever after. Fast forward to 2025 and Jessica calls it quits, describing the split as a painful situation. Painful for them, but potentially lucrative for their lawyers. Word on the street is their differences boiled down to lifestyle. Allegedly, Jessica's focused on sobriety and family while Eric still enjoys his late nights out. That's not just oil and water, it's oil and dynamite.
Now, we haven't seen the couple together since June of last year, but a source told Page 6 that Jessica's 100-pound weight loss had been a contributing factor to the pair split. Which is interesting because in the age of Ozempic and things like that, I have actually heard of couples splitting up because the husband is no longer attracted to the new wife, which sounds insane, but like, wow. I've actually heard stories about that before, so maybe that's what happened here, partially, though I don't think they were a happy marriage to begin with. After shedding weight in 2021, Jessica felt irresistible and started to want to sow her wild oats in a way she never could. In order to drop the pounds, the star had to kill herself in the gym through starvation diets to get slim and to stay that way. A source said, to be fair, Jess, Eric has been accordingly checked out. He's been so over it and her for a while, and so infidelity on his part is not out of the question, but it's also not out of the question on her part either. Another insider said their marital issues have been suffocating for a while and she needs to move on for her own well-being, which I'm pretty sure we did a blinded and breakdown episode where we talked about them headed for divorce. Jessica Simpson, who's already recorded a heartbreak album about the shock separation, put on a lavish abode on the market on January 11th after being evacuated. Oh no. Now their divorce is going to be a messy one, especially because they have had some finances that have become intertwined. They probably never saw this coming, so hopefully they can hash it out.
It has been reported that Jessica purchased it before the marriage with her own funds, and thus it is likely her separate property under California law. But if Eric contributed to renovations or mortgage payments with marital income, he could argue for a share of the home's increased value during the marriage. Interesting fact, they listed their home for sale in September of 2023 for $22 million. That's nearly $10 million in growth on the home. Now, is that the first sign of trouble in paradise? Let's just say whoever gets that asset is walking away with some serious equity.
Our next blind item is about Paul Mescal and Gracie Abrams. It reads, I told you 2 weeks ago about the foreign-born actor and the singer and that they were done. He has moved on. She has moved on. No need for any promo work, and honestly, he was going to bring down her career with his issues. Now, everyone else is catching on. One person writes, a restaurant doesn't strike me as being the most optimal place to have a breakup conversations. Perhaps a difficult topic came up very suddenly. And that's because they were spotted and it seemed like they had a heated argument or at least emotional conversation out in public. Another person writes, is this because of the crying scene at the restaurant? She's better off without him and his addictions. Another person writes, maybe Paul Mescal is going to go for Ariana Grande after all. Michael Kelly commented, Paul Mescal and Gracie Abrams are pretty much done and it's being reported at a lot of places. Another person adds that apparently Paul has a huge hoe and alcohol issues. Some of the stories I've heard from people who have worked with M&W on a Malta shoot, damn, I hope he gets regularly tested. The guy got famous and decided to sleep with every woman possible. So let's talk about what's happening with Gracie Abrams. Seems like she and Paul got into an emotional night at a London restaurant. Paul was spotted in the restaurant with his head in his hands as Gracie sat across from him in a fit of tears before storming out. An onlooker said they sat at a table opposite of each other and Paul had his hand in his head and Gracie was just there crying it out. She was crying so much that he started crying too. She eventually got up and walked out of the restaurant while they were halfway through their meals and he was left to pay the bill before leaving shortly afterwards. Everyone saw it go down. It looked like a breakup. We were shocked at how public it all was. It comes after the daughter of Hollywood director J.J. Abrams visited Paul and his family in their hometown of Cork over Christmas, and the couple posed for pictures with fans. Paul's previous girlfriend was also a singer, Phoebe Bridgers, and the pair have dated for 2 years before she spotted him in his career-defining role as Connell Waldron in BBC's Normal People. Now, there are a bunch of conspiracy theories when it comes to Paul Mescal, and there are some people who believe that he's never really going to find happiness. Oh, that's so sad. But it's because he's in love with a former co-star named Daisy. After Paul and Daisy Edgar Jones filmed the TV adaptation of Sally Rooney's Normal People, they were catapulted to fame overnight in 2020. She said in July 2024 that Paul became one of her best friends, but it seems like their relationship maybe have ended there. I mean, I think Paul probably caught some feelings, but she wanted to protect herself.
If the rumors are true, all that I'm going to say is that we, the people, women specifically, need to stay away from this man, because the only person who he is ever going to love is Daisy Edgar Jones. Do I think those feelings are reciprocated? I don't know, but that man has and will always be in love with her. The amount of times that he brings her up in a conversation, the history will always repeat itself, because that man is always trying to convince himself that he is not in love with this woman, and we all know the truth. Y'all can hate on me for speaking it, but it's about time we talk about it. That is the love of his life.
Now, despite Paul having a crush on his co-star, he moved on with Gracie, and they were known to have their relationship very private until now. Now, this is very creepy. It's about Britney Spears. This blinded and reads, with her latest post, the permanent A-list singer did nothing to dissuade people that she has been cloned or subject to MK Ultra experiments. Now, you guys know I love a good conspiracy theory. This person writes, definitely. I think Britney may have a condition like dissociative identity disorder, and she's telling us without really telling us. Another person writes, the post that she posted was taken down. Another person adds, my sister was the first to say to me, that's not Britney. Let me go be nosy. Now, I'll never forget, Britney Spears does have a song called Mona Lisa, and in the song, she talks about being cloned. It goes like, she's the original, yeah, yeah, na, 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 yeah, yeah, and she wants you to know she's been cloned. Yeah, that's my rendition. She's been cloned. She's been cloned. Definitely go listen to it. It's actually a pretty good song. It's like one of my favorites by her, and it's kind of cryptic too. She's the original. Okay. So Britney posted on Instagram to address the theory that she's not actually Britney, but a clone of the pop star, writing, a lot of people say I'm a clone. I wish I was that interesting, but no, I'm owned by a little girl who lives within me. She's called Mini-Me. She claims that this Mini-Me has a real name, but she doesn't share her because I'm selfish with people I love. She ended her post by writing, until then, we may all look up and wonder about the real kingdom of heaven. Oh, don't talk about heaven now, Britney, but she may be responding to Kristen Cavallari because she had a podcast. Not my podcast. Let's get into a podcast. It's the Let's Be Honest podcast. In November 2024, she raised concern that Britney and Kanye are both cloned, and we actually covered this on the main channel. She said, I got a call from my publicist. He calls me and goes, guess who wants your phone number? And I go, who? And she recalled Britney effing Spears, according to Kristen, but she reached out and Britney never returned her text. She said, now I do think you're an effing clone. I don't think it's you, and I don't want to hang out. Kristen said that Britney had just proved her point. Now, if you guys are like, wait, what is this clone conspiracy? I do have a TikTok of someone breaking it down, and here is their take on what this clone moment could be. I mean, do you guys think people can be cloned? Comment below. I can understand like cloning the DNA. The problem with me is like, how do you make the living organism grow up? Like, you can't just like clone it into like a 10-year-old person or a 20-year-old person. Like, they have to grow up normally. So how do you expedite that? It doesn't add up.
So this is my observation about the whole Britney Spears thing, and it is her teeth have changed over the years. People are all saying maybe she's a clone, maybe it's not really her, and I kind of get that, and I'm wondering what you think about her teeth, starting like right here. These are all screen grabs from her recent videos. That's why they look a little funny, but let me know what you think in the comments. Is it Britney? Is it someone else? Did her teeth change? I don't know.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the block. They list everything in her mind celebrity is feeling left out of the celebrities helping out with the fire victims' thirst and is leaking things directly to the press about how she is helping even though she's not. Now, I think it's really nice when people step in to go and help. I know people who aren't celebrities, who do not have money and have been able to do amazing things for these wildfire victims. This person commented, let's hope she doesn't start another fire just so she can get some paparazzi photos. Another person added, these celebs act like high school kids, using any situation to outdo the other. Another person commented, I know of $20 million she wasted that could come in useful for a lot of people, which they're talking about her failed documentary and movie that she put out on Amazon and invested way too much money in. Another person added, how is she helping? Sending thoughts and prayers. Another person writes, she's donating clothing. So just what those who have lost in the fire need. A collection of, I'm sure, very useful and size inclusive, gold, lame, and see-through clothes designed for a size 0 body with surgically enhanced boobs and a butt. I think it's because she's offering to donate some of her old clothing, but who could really walk around just wearing what JLo wears? It's a nice thought. I mean, I understand. I mean, I don't think she's probably giving up some of her tour outfits. I feel like if anything, she could go and maybe go auction off some of those tour items or old things and raise money that way. But she's donating a bunch of items from her own closet. Her minions were sent to page 6 to tell them that. This person says that Jennifer is doing anything she can to think of to help those in need to replace items they lost in the fire. Good for her. She included also a bunch of packages from her JLo Beauty skincare line, which comment below, does anyone actually use that skincare line? Have you ever even seen one of the products before in a household setting? I haven't personally, but what do I know? Ben Affleck, Jennifer's ex, actually bought a home in the Palisades, which was in an evacuation zone. Jennifer has been checking in on Ben, the source claims, throughout this ordeal and let him know that she's there for him and his kids. She offered support for whatever they need, the source added, adding that JLo has offered assistance in any way. So it looks like she's trying to be helpful. Despite settling their divorce a day before the fires broke out, the insider told JLo that she has reached out as soon as she heard. So she's trying to be the bigger person here. And Jennifer is a lot of talk. We don't really see a lot of things. I mean, we know that she's supposedly donating these things. That's what her source is telling page 6. But who really knows? Meanwhile, Ben Affleck's ex, Jennifer Garner, the one that really got away, she's really on the ground doing her big one.
What's it like for you to do this in your own backyard?
I mean, I'm just heartbroken for my city. But there's part of me that feels like I have seen this happen all over the country, and I have seen the good that shows up, and I have seen the resilience that shows up. When a disaster strikes, they show up with trauma-informed care for kids. And they have camp directors, teachers, all these amazing people here to play with the kids, give children a little bit of joy and normalcy, if that's at all possible, and give parents the space to figure out where they're going to live, where their kids are going to go to school.
There's so much work to do.
There's so much work to do.
Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this week of Blind Item Breakdown. I hope you like my shirt. Look how country it is. I've got a deer on it right here. I love it. And I think it looks so cute with the hat. I'm telling you guys, I love this hat. It's I just think it's so cute. I'm wearing it every day. I love my show. I think it's amazing. The show's amazing. The hat is cute. We've got some merch coming out for the Let's Get Into It podcast. It's going to be kind of college-y looking. So excited. It's been fun because I've been designing everything myself and doing it all myself and creating this website and everything. So if you guys want to go and get the Blind Item Breakdown hat, I think I'll have it out for this week and then next week's episode. And then after that, after January, I think I'm going to stop it. I want to keep it kind of special. So we'll do that, and then we'll wait a little bit and release the sweatshirt, which is going to be to die for. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, and thank you to those who ordered the hats. I love you guys so much. That means so much to me. Thank you for supporting me and just supporting my show and my channel and just being day one OG supporters. It means so much to me, and I am manifesting one day. I know we're doing only a short sale for the hats, but I'm manifesting one day wearing mine out in public and someone else has theirs on, and I just it feels so special to have that bond with you guys. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in next week's episode and on my channel for daily videos. I love you guys. Bye.